just listening to Glennon and Abby on the podcast. We Can Do Hard Things. I'm driving, but I'm not looking at you guys, and they're talking about regret. One of my favorite topics. Very nuanced. Everyone should listen to this podcast episode because it's really fascinating. But it did remind me of the idea that I always say regret, in a way, is our choice. Meaning, we can certainly move forward in life, and rather than worry that, oh my God, I'm going to regret something. What if I don't do this? Or what if I do this and I regret it later? We can instead try to move through life very conscientiously believing the truth, I think, which is there is no one right answer. I've said this before, right? We all know this, but we don't live this because we like to believe there is a right answer. There is a path that I have to pick. And if I don't pick the right path, I might be screwed. But the answer is there's no one right answer. There's no one path that is correct. There are multiple paths, many of which are wonderful, some of which suck because nothing is 100% wonderful and nothing is 100% sucky. Remember my quote, nothing is ever only, everything is always and, right? And so I think that the more we actually really adhere to that notion, that there is no all amazing and there is no all terrible, that there are just variations of both, then we don't have to feel so pressured to pick the right path. That's one part, I think, of trying to avoid regret. And I don't think you're snowing yourself. I think it's the truth. And the other part is also reminding all of us that I think as humans, we tend to idealize the alternative, I always say, right? Like if we're in a present situation, that might suck, whether or not it's something we picked, something that happened in our lives. Maybe a loved one is sick or we're sick or something. And we think, oh, if only I weren't sick. And I actually really try to never think or say if only, because I know what if only means. If only means, if only I weren't sick, the alternative would be so much better. And that's a tricky business because it's not necessarily, and maybe even not likely to be true. We idealize the alternative and we over dramatize the present. The alternative to any given crappy moment might be an equally crappy moment, but with just different crap. Like I always joke, the grass is not greener. It's equally shitty brown in different spots. But the flip side of that is it's equally beautifully, lusciously green, but in different spots. And yes, this is a bit of a mind game, but it's not really, because instead of tricking ourselves into thinking the alternative would be great, or tricking ourselves into thinking that from a regret perspective, if only I didn't do this, or if only this hadn't happened, my life would be wonderful, I regret that so much, which is probably not true. Instead, play the mind game of the truth, which is that you are living that life, and if you are trying to be purposeful, there will be beauty, there will be suck, there will be sometimes equal parts of both, sometimes more beauty, sometimes more suck. And the trick is to just play it out, because just as soon as the sucky stuff happens, it'll be followed, hills and valleys, by something beautiful. And just as soon as the beauty is there, you get used to it, the rug gets pulled out and something sucky happens, right? But it's just, those are the ebbs and flows of life, I think. At least that's how I've had to look at it, because I've gotten some really amazing parts of my life and some superbly shitty things as well. Okay, I just finished some baby deliveries and now I'm going to my son's parent-teacher conference, so wish me luck. Bye.